If you want to create high-value dashboards, you have to start with the proper documentation in the proper place, so here's the structure. Keeping your documentation outside of the dashboard is the first thing that you're going to want to do, but almost nobody does this. I frequently find myself using an internal wiki like Confluence, and here's a structure that I like to work with. Here you can see some key metadata about the dashboard, such as when it was created, when it was released, who the original author was, and who owns it today. You can also see that I have additional information such as that dashboard URL. That way anybody reading this knows where to find the dashboard. And then there's additional details about the data refresh time and date, the original Jira work request that this dashboard was created from, and then we have a section for notes in here to talk about anything that's really important that most people are going to ask questions about or need to know about when they're looking at the dashboard. Now below this metadata, I have a section that has screenshots in it, and then another section that has the metric definitions, and then one more that has the FAQs. What this amounts to is documentation that anyone in your organization can search through. So if somebody wanted to look and see what are all of the dashboards that exist for my entire team, they could quickly go over, look at the tree view in the left-hand nav, and they'd see documentation like this. It also means that anybody within the company can search for a specific metric definition, and then they can find that across a number of different dashboards that exist across the company. When you combine this with the screenshots, what you have is web-based documentation that any of your stakeholders can quickly look at, and they can visually see, is this the right dashboard that they even want to use in the first place? I've been using these practices for roughly the last 12 years, but almost nobody does this across the industry. Instead, most analysts are embedding documentation inside the dashboard, and that's just not searchable. What that leads to is that stakeholders have to make a request to get access to a dashboard, all so they can see if this is even the dashboard that they want to use in the first place. It's a huge waste of time for everybody in the organization, and it's not a good practice, and this is why you want to decouple your documentation from your dashboards.